So one of the fun things about parenting is actually getting to interact with your child during playtime. And as we know, that playtime is an activity that is really structured for all kids of all ages. Now, what it looks like may be a little different for a 3-year-old versus a 10-year-old, whether it's an educational type activity or playtime, or if it's something of a sport. But this is where it becomes very important for parents to really become more interactive with their child. And we can use these opportunities to build that bond, to build that trust, and really communicate and really observe your child of how they're playing. What are some of these messages that they may be incorporating? And it's really, really fun to identify as well that children can actually tell you how they're feeling and thinking through some of their play. And so playful parenting is going to be helpful in terms of understanding what our child needs and just really meeting those needs of the child. We could use playful parenting and playtime as a outlet to learn fundamental skills and really just to learn, what they could really do in social settings or during stressful times. And it's also a good coping mechanism. It can help reduce some of those stressors, reduce any kind of anxiety that may be happening. Now, this is where it's kind of like that slippery slope. If you're noticing your child really isolating themselves away from people. And so that's where it becomes, where playtime is using or being used as a crutch in a sense, or being used as a security blanket, as we talked about earlier, that the child is bonding with something so they do not have to interact and they can just self-isolate. Parents can use this time to become really interactive during play, and this helps build that bond even stronger. Now, a fun example could be if, we've seen children just kind of running around the home, acting like they're an airplane, they're a spaceship, and so this is where it becomes really fun, and this is where that playful parenting comes in. Now, if you notice your child becoming very imaginative and really in a different world than, well, obviously you and I would be seeing, and if they're pretending to be a spaceship, maybe incorporate that play and join them and start making some, whoosh sounds, or making them know that you're actually joining in their world and that you're actually playing in what they're seeing. And so the imagination aspect of this becomes really helpful because now the child knows that you're imagining exactly what they're imagining. And that child knows that now this is more of that bond. They learn to trust you even more and they also see that you're being supportive of the decision they just made. So that support piece comes in for you to know, or for the child to know that, hey, my caregiver, my parent is really listening. They're really involved with what I'm doing, and they feel even more supported and feel even more loved. And so that connection is being built. And so playful parenting can be really, really fun. You structure it out just well and just have it like a main routine of what that's like. Other ways you can use playtime as an opportunity to learn is really being observant of some of the behaviors that your child may be doing. So if you notice your child playing with dolls in a playhouse or anything like that, and you see that they're, the dolls are bickering, or one doll is really being assertive and aggressive about something, this really goes to show that there's something happening in that child's life where they're seeing this being exhibited. And so again, when we talk about that modeling, you could use that opportunity to teach them, like, hey, this, they should play a little bit nicer, or, the communication that they're having or the way that they're talking is not the best way. So you can use that opportunity to say, here's how they should play together. And so when your child sees you modeling that and using their dolls that they play with every single day, they know that, hey, this is okay, this is how behavior should be. Then not only do they start learning new behaviors of how to play with their dolls, they're also learning how to express this in social settings. So really watching for those stories that your child is saying or playing out. And so this is where you becoming very observant and watching and just really taking note of, okay, is this healthy behavior? Is this positive behaviors? Then that's great. If we're noticing negative ways of communicating, unhealthy ways of attaching, then we really need to intervene. Now we want to observe and see where they're going to take this, if it's going to be helpful for them, if it's not, and really using the opportunity to help learn and help really model those behaviors. And again, we're keep coming back to that scaffolding. We're teaching new behaviors, but we're coming down into the child's world. We're using resources that are available to us and something that the child can connect with. And it really just helps you connect as well as the child sees this. So what you do with playful parenting can, again, there's no cookie cutter way. This is whatever works for you, whatever works for your child is going to be the most helpful. You know your family best. So use what you have available. I wouldn't say go out, try different things that you've never tried before. Whether, obviously those can be fun and interesting for the whole family system, but I would say use what you have in the home. Focus on how to connect and before implementing new things. Because when we implement new things or we bring new things and, I'm buying these specific, my child doesn't play with dolls, but I want to bring these dolls into the home because it's going to help them play out and things like that. I wouldn't say force things that, the answers that you're looking for. So if you use your resources, you want to keep that normalcy within the home, within the family setting, then it's really going to help that child. Again, we're structuring, we're keeping things consistent, and we're normalizing of what's available to us. And bringing in those new things is only going to just frustrate if we're not able to get the outcome. So as we move forward from talking about playful parenting, I do want to say, really focusing on what you and your partner or other caregivers, other family members, other adults in the home can do to work together. So in our next videos, we'll definitely be talking about how the partners and the caregivers and other family members can really come together and really parent together and stay on the same page.